Welcome back to The Fight. I'm Gary Sieber. It's nice to have you here. And joining us right now is Notre Dame rising sophomore Paolo Mazzara, who is a native of Monza, Italy. He recently immigrated to the United States with his family, and Paolo is still in close contact with friends and relatives there. Paolo, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can indeed. Thank you so much. Tell us a little bit about what brought you to Notre Dame and what you've been doing here lately.
So I'm a rising sophomore, as you said. I'm a philosophy and a global affairs major. So I could say that the things I've been studying apply very much to the volunteering efforts that I've been doing to coronavirus and can actually come in handy in periods such as this ones. And I came to Notre Dame after I moved to the United States 2 years ago. And I remember Notre Dame from one of my very first visits to the United States, where I could say I fell in love with the Golden Dome, the Mary atop the Golden Dome, and the way it kind of reminded me of what we have in Milan, equivalent atop the Milan Cathedral. And as soon as I was informed of things such as the Notre Dame factor, and I spoke with various alumnus who spent a lot of time describing the amount of importance that Notre Dame students put on volunteering and being a force for good, I decided I had to come to this university.
Well, Paolo, you mentioned Milan, and of course you're in the Lombardy area of Italy, and that was one of the almost ground zero for what happened with the COVID-19 pandemic as it really ripped through the country of Italy. Tell us a little bit about what that experience was like in your home area and how you responded to it.
Yes, so it's still unclear as to how Milan became, or I would say the Lombardy region became the outbreak of coronavirus in the region and in the country actually. And it was very interesting because what was outstanding about the whole situation is that the regional healthcare system of Lombardy, again, where I'm from, is considered to be one of the best, not just in Italy, but in Europe. It's considered to be one of the most advanced and one of the most well-equipped. And yet, the amount of people who were getting infected, the rate was so grave that not even the hospitals and the healthcare workers were ready for such an influx of people, which is in the end what led me to help them and keep in contact with the country and try to do what I could by aiding them in various ways.
Paolo, your experience was that you overheard a phone conversation that your mother had with a friend who happened to be a nurse, and that immersed you in this in a big way. Tell us what happened and came out of that.
Yes, so it was very organic. It happened, it was not really planned. As I said earlier, we moved to the United States, but I was born in Italy. I lived there my entire life. So, of course, we still have relatives and acquaintances over there. And my mother got a phone call from close friends of ours who happens to be a nurse at the Zucchi Clinic, one of the hospitals in Milan. And in the phone call, she was basically asking my mother if we could help her with translating a document that needed to be sent to Geneva, where the head of the World Health Organization is located. And they hoped that my mother could do the job because, of course, by living in the United States, she would know the language better than the medical professionals who maybe lived in Italy, worked there, but were not as proficient in English. And the way it worked was just I abandoned my schoolwork. I overheard the phone call and said, you know what, I have a lot of downtime, I have a lot of free time due to this quarantine, due to social distancing, and the fact that school is now based on virtual learning. And I decided to do it immediately. I translated the document from Italian to English. I recorded a voice message where I read the document aloud. And it was pretty smooth. I sent it, and they did what they had to do with it.
And do you know if those made a difference, Paolo, when they got to the World Health Organization?
Well, I got asked this question various times, and I always give the same answer. It's absurd to think that just one document could make a big difference. I know by following the news, because I still follow the Italian news closely, that in the weeks following me sending the document to the healthcare professionals who then forwarded it to the World Health Organization, some things changed in the healthcare system, the Italian healthcare system. Some equipment was finally supplied to healthcare professionals. Some needs were addressed. So I wouldn't say that my letter made the difference, and it was the, let's say, the thing that led to the turning point. But it surely contributed, and it surely, among all the other efforts, a small action could actually lead to a greater impact.
Well, Paolo, we really appreciate you being here, and congratulations on that involvement. And we're all helping in our own way. And even though it may seem like a small thing to you, I know it had a great benefit to the people in Italy and the people from your area in Italy especially. So, Paolo, thank you very, very much for being with us today.
Thank you.
All right. And we're going to come back here in just a moment, and we'll be talking with a person who is very closely associated with the Alliance for Catholic Education and how that program is going amidst all of this corona crisis. We will be right back after a short break.